tonight on a very special episode. Just kidding. You remember those though? You know, like the Facts of Life or Different Strokes. They had the actor go in tonight on a very special episode. They'd have some serious topic and they'd fuck the hell out of it. You wouldn't get anything out of it, really. Please have a discussion at the end. Yeah, I don't know what made me think of that. I'm home from work a little earlier tonight. I'm tired today. I had an okay day. It was a good day. But it was a long day. Long week. Lots going on. But the title of this video is exactly what it says it is. It's gone a little serious. I have a lot of friends from the group that I belong in, and they're really, really struggling with the same thing that I'm struggling with. We all struggle with it in our own way and differently, but you read things and you talk to people, and you really, some of the stuff that they say, you really relate to it, you know? So, anyway, I was doing alright. You know, for me, it's like, you have those songs that you had with your partner. You had things that you did, nicknames that you called each other, usual things, you know, that you can't imagine ever doing with anybody else. And I thought I was safe, because basically what had happened was I was at work, and I avoid certain triggers. That's why I said earlier in a post about what triggers Tigger, which is who I am to Steve, and a lot of other people, they call me Tigger. My triggers vary. Sometimes a song will trigger me, sometimes a smell, lots of different things. I'm sure anybody watching that has lost a spouse, or anyone, can relate to being triggered by something. I've learned to avoid some of these triggers, unless I'm ready to grieve, in which case I can go and, you know, put on a song when I'm ready to cry, or, you know, something like that. But I'm at work, okay, and Steve was really into music. His degree was in music, and you know, a lot of that rubbed off on me. He knew so much about music. Hi Robert, hey Marta, hey Scott, hi Jairus, and I apologize guys, it's kind of hard to read the comments sometimes because they scroll really fast, so if I miss something, I apologize. And when I get to going on about something, I'm not reading until I can come to a place that, you know, I can pause. But back to triggers. I've avoided certain things, like Steve and I used to fall asleep on the couch, and the TV would always be on. And we would watch The West Wing, which was a really fun show. It was one of our favorite shows. And we would watch a show called The Universe. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen it. But it's, I'm really fascinated. We were both really fascinated with how the universe works. There's even a show called How the Universe Works. Isn't that fun? The show, I think it came on the History Channel, something like that. But you can watch it on YouTube. I think it might even be on Netflix. We even have it on DVD, because we like it that much. You know, what we would do is we would put on the show and fall asleep on the couch to whatever we were watching. Since he died, I haven't been able to watch The Universe or The West Wing. Actually, Weeds was a big deal for me. It was one of our favorite shows, and I finally gave it a whirl this week, and I still love it. But it was more my show than his. The Walking Dead we were into, and I couldn't even watch the second half of season 7 this year. I know how it ended. I saw the finale, but I missed the whole part B, season 7B, because he died in between A and B, and I couldn't. We watched it at work. Before I went to evenings, Abraham and I would watch it. I got him, this African guy that I work with, he just thinks The Walking Dead's the coolest shit. And it is. It's a great show. But he would turn it on to watch it, and he didn't understand why I didn't want to watch it anymore. I'd just sit there with my headphones in and not pay attention. And you know, those are some of my triggers, and so I avoid them sometimes if I'm not ready to deal. In the car, when I make my let's go to work videos, you know, the real short ones, those are supposed to be like upbeat and get me pumped to go to work. As soon as I hang up with y'all, I crank 80s music, just jam all the way there. You know, it gets me in the mood to work and, you know, finish my day. So I'm at work today, and I'm really, for whatever reason, I was never, not that I'm not a big fan of Freddie Mercury, because I am, but I'm a bigger fan of others. And Steve and I never really talked about Freddie Mercury. We enjoyed a few songs here and there, but like we have our signature songs, what's important to us together as a couple and individually, the things that he liked that I didn't, or vice versa. But I was listening to YouTube at work in the middle of talking to everybody, and I heard this song, and I'll play it in the background. And I'm sure everybody's heard it a million times. You know, I've heard it, but I've never really stopped and listened to it. But it's called The Great Pretender. And he did that song toward the end of his illness, you know, when it was made aware that he had AIDS. That's not a song that I know him for at all. So I'm listening to, and I apologize, guys. I'm normally really good with 70s, 80s, everything, but this song was new to me. And I was watching his documentary, and I enjoyed it. And I watched how they did that, how he was so sick when they filmed that song. And but I'm listening to the words to the song, and all I could think about was, it could be me, it could be Steve, you know? But I've never had a song that I didn't know before hit me like that, you know? Because I feel like that's me. I'm a pretender. We all are at sometimes. I'm always on. I feel like I always have to be on to people. And it's exhausting sometimes, it really is. You have to understand that Steve and I were like that. We don't like showing other people our emotions. Especially our vulnerabilities. And since I started making these videos, I'm really outside my comfort zone, because sometimes it's fun and we do something like the shaving video, but I started these because I'm lonely and I miss him, and it's quiet in the house, and I come home and there's no one to talk to, so I started doing this. And that's why I'm doing the YouTube videos too, because I feel like if I can help one person. You know, when I lost Steve and I got on YouTube, I found one person that made one video about what he went through, and he was angry. But I wish I could have found... I mean, it led me to the group we belong to. I mean, that's fortunate, because I clicked on something by accident, and it led me to the group that I belong to for gay widowers. But it's just like... I don't know. Scott, you've said it. You know, you're not the only one who said it. Some people have said I'm in a really good place, or I'm better than some people that are, you know, and I agree. I've met some people who are just as far out as me or farther, and they're not doing near as well as I am right now, but I think that fluctuates with us all. I think we do well at times, and then I think we don't do well at times. And I was thinking about Mike all day today because of what he's going through. This is the gentleman that donated $100 to my GoFund, and he has to put this garage sale together. He's donating money to me, and he's in the similar situation that I'm in. And I keep thinking, wow, I need to do that too. I need to have a garage sale. I've sold off everything we own, almost, and it's not enough. And I don't know how long I'm going to get to stay here. I don't know what's next. It scares the living hell out of me, it does. But back on topic, that song tonight, it made me think, you know, to a certain degree, I am a pretender to some people. I don't want them to see how bad it is, how bad I feel, you know. And I don't feel bad all the time. It's not a 24/7 thing. I don't get up and, oh no. I talked to my dad today, and that was a mistake. I was trying to be upbeat, even with my situation. And he was so... He would just remind me of my situation no matter what we talked about. It's like, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Well, it sounds like you're in a really bad situation. Every time I tried to change the subject or anything, he'd go back to, well, it sounds like your life sucks. He doesn't talk like that, but that's to give you an idea. It was always back on, what are you going to do about that, you know? Maybe you should work some more, you know, which made me angry. I got upset with my dad because I can't work any more than I am right now. They literally won't let me. And he got it out of it. He started giggling a little. He's like, well, don't yell at me. And I said, well, stop telling me shit I already know. And we started laughing. It was funny at the end. He's like, well, okay, God damn it. You have to know my dad. He's just this way. And this was right before I went to work today. So I kind of needed that in a way. It was kind of, I mean, it was a fun exchange. We always have a fun exchange, but, you know, I can't not tell them the truth about what's going on. They're not stupid people. They know that I'm fucked. I am fucked so many ways. It's not even funny. I can't hide that fact. There's no hiding it, you know, but, that doesn't mean I'm not going to make it. That doesn't mean I'm going to give up, but that grief that we go through, Mike, I thought about you all day because I've been having days like that too. Scott, you and I have talked about it. You know, we have these things. We do all right, you know, and we talk to, Scott and I talk to each other a lot. And he has been like a bright light for me, like made me remember what living is like again. I don't even remember the last time I smiled that wasn't pretend for something, for someone. Making someone else feel better, and that's just my nature. It's a lot of our natures. Death is uncomfortable. Nobody likes to talk about it. Nobody, you know. And if it doesn't make you uncomfortable, the other person, it scares the shit out of them. It just scares them to death because they know it's gonna happen to us all. It will. It's a fucking scary thing. I used to have night terrors about this. 2 years ago, I would have night terrors about Steve dying. And I would be so relieved to wake up, and I would just, you know, just hug him and squeeze him really hard, just thankful that that was just a dream. It was a nightmare. And now I'm living that fucking nightmare. And I can't wake up. There's no waking up. You know, this is supposed to be reality. And reality really sucks. And, I wasn't expecting that tonight. I don't know why that song hit me so bad. I'm a big believer in listening to the story of a song, not just how good it sounds, but like, you know, what is this person singing about? And I've never heard it before. I've never stopped and really listened to what is he singing about right there, and it just resonated with me, I guess. But and it reminds me of a lot of us in the group, you know, who are going through what we're going through. And I don't care if you're 2 months out, or if you're 2 years out, or if you're 20 years out. For me, and not for anybody else, but for me, it's going to be a situation of, this is never going to not hurt like this. The pain doesn't, for me, it doesn't get easier. It's always intense. The difference is that the light for me at the end of the tunnel is that I can make room for it. You know, as I deal with it and time, you know, it doesn't lessen for me like they say. It's just as intense, but I make room for it. And until I can make room for it, I'm really good at compartmentalization. Steve taught me that. He was the king at compartmentalization. Probably why I'm doing as well as I am doing at any given time. But remember too, I only show you what I want you to see. You know, I don't turn this camera on at my worst. I'm not crazy. You know, you wouldn't want to see that. That's not a happy thing. You know, And I don't want to scare people, because the people that think they know me, that don't, but used to, you know, I used to hurt myself. I used to cut myself when Steve and I were a secret and we had to keep that. And the last thing I want to do is scare a family member into, oh my God, he's doing it again. You know, it's like, wow, because that's not me. That's not who I am. So I'm real careful, or I try to be real careful about what I share and what I don't. I share with you exactly what I feel. I don't hold back on that, but I'm never going to turn the camera on in the middle of a grief-stricken period, ever. Like when I'm dark, okay, Carl went dark today on a post, okay, and my response back is, I understand, you got to go dark. You'll holler if you need something, I know you will, and so will I, so will we all. It's necessary to go dark, you know, it happens, you know, and everybody has a different way of dealing with it. My way is not in front of the camera. Now you may see vulnerability here and there, but you will never see dark, because I won't allow it, because I'm not able to get it out of me if I have somebody with me, and that's what keeps me going. When I have to go dark, it's gotten real dark. It hasn't happened that often, but it happened a few times since he died, and I've learned from the experience, because I did do a couple of stupid things while I was in dark land. But, you know, all I can do is learn what not to do again. Like Steve always says, do it differently. So, I'm trying my best to do that. But, that song, it just really got me, you guys. And Mike had such a shitty day. And, you know, it's like, you know, I wish I could make it better for all of us. I really do. You know, because I can't imagine anything feeling worse than what this feels like, you know. And Mike, you're even you're a month out closer than I am. I'll be 4 months out on the 19th from when Steve died. So it doesn't matter the time though. The time doesn't matter to me anyway. I mean, I know they say it gets easier with time, but for me it's a situation of I have to make room for it. But, you know, I don't know. I remember dates. Friday, two of my dogs turn 11. You know, that's a big deal for me. I was there when they were born, JR and Chomps, but, you know, anniversaries are hard, dates are hard, birthdays are hard. I turned 40. He wanted to see that so bad. He wanted to see me turn 40 so bad, and I wanted him to see me turn 40, because, you know, when I was 25, we didn't think I'd ever be 40. Who did? It was really fucked up back then, you know. But those are important things to us. Christmas was the best. We had the best Christmas we ever had 2 years ago at my mom and dad's with his daughter and him and me. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to top it, but as far as my future goes, I want one. I think I'm entitled to one. I was lucky enough to have the most incredible, loving partner, best friend, good time sleepover buddy for 20 years anybody could have. I mean, we were everything to each other, everything. And I know I won't have that again, but that doesn't mean I can't have something else different, and it doesn't mean it can't be good. And that doesn't, you know, I know that's a vague statement, but, you know, it doesn't matter what's in my future. I just want to make whatever it is good. You know, because I do think I deserve that. Everybody does. And Steve wants that for me. I know he does. If the situation were reversed, I'd want it for him. You know? None of us should have to spend the rest of our lives hurting the way we are gonna hurt and not be able to find some kind of joy in our lives. You know, it's the reason we're alive. I always said Steve Morgan is my favorite thing about being alive. He was my favorite thing about being alive. But my life didn't end when his did. and I have to keep going, and I can make that a really painful experience for as long as I'm here, or I could try to make it the best experience I can for however long I have left. You know, I'd like to be with someone. They won't be Steve, but it doesn't matter. No one will ever be Steve. Steve loved me more than any member of my blood family. He loves me more than anybody ever will. And I'm okay with that. That doesn't mean I can't be loved or that I can't love back. It's not a contest, you know? But that's how deeply we felt about each other. And to read the things that you guys post in the group, and take it and relate to it the way I'm going through it, it breaks my heart to see all of your broken hearts, because I do understand. I don't feel what you feel. Your experiences are your own, you know, but I do empathize with it, and I'm sorry for it, because none of it's fair, you know. I wish I had something better to say, you know, something that would comfort Mike, you know, that he had the worst day, you know, and it's really bad when you have to have the worst day and you're at work and you have to be in front of people, you know. That's awful. I know what that's like. That's awful, you know. I have to run away. I don't want anybody to see me, you know. It's you know, it's really hard to function, I imagine, is how that is. But my good days, for the most part, are really good. But the grief just, it gets me, guys. It does. And I have to go through it alone, mostly, for the most part. And that's unfortunate. But it'll make me stronger, you know. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Because I am emotional, and I don't like being in front of the camera when I'm super emotional. So I hope you guys got something out of this. Scott, I'll message you here in about 5 minutes after I hit the end. And Mike, you know, you can call me day or night, anytime, you know. Doesn't matter what time it is or anything. I like the idea that we can do that for each other, all of us, you know. I like the idea that somebody is there if I need to pick up the phone and call them, you know. I may not do it often or at all yet, but I like the idea that someone's available to talk to, because it does get really dark, and no one should have to do that alone if they don't want to. So, Scott, I'm not sad today. I had a really good day. I really did. I had a wonderful day. I'm not sad today. It's just you're seeing a piece of what usually I do in private, in that song. And because of Mike's day, I just wanted to, you know, to show that, you know, that we're all having our days. We have our moments. I don't like to call them days. I guess they're moments. But even in my most grief-stricken moment, I'm looking at y'all's posts. I'm reading our conversations. I'm keeping an eye on you guys, because you guys have really kept a good eye on me, and my life has been so much better since I met you. You have no idea. It really has. I really, really needed that, and I didn't think that I'd get much out of it at all, and boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong. So, no, it wasn't a bad day at all. In fact, it was a pretty damn good day. I'll have to look back at again, I'm pointing at a phone that doesn't exist over there, because that's stupid. But Steve's phone's over there. I'm using it as a prop, okay? But no, look back at our conversation, and you know that I didn't have a bad day at all. No, I have a lot of good going on in spread out in all the grief and all the bad or all the hardship. There's a lot of hardship, but I'm smiling again, and I mean it. I'm not faking it for y'all. You know, I'm not having to fake it as much. And that's amazing to me, you know. So thank you for that. You know, Scott in particular and Mike, you guys don't even know, like, just, it's incredible, you know, how much better I've been feeling, you know, since I met the group and met you guys. But I'm going to cut it off there because I do plan to go to bed early. And last night's, Scott called it a podcast, or somebody did. And it was long. I didn't intend for it to be that long, guys. But remember, I'm gonna repeat this in every video. It's gonna become my signature phrase. I'm reminding myself and you guys that the reason I do these videos is more for me than anything, because it helps me deal with my grief, and it helps me deal with Steve's absence. And coming home to the house when he's not here, especially after being triggered, which we all know what that's like when we're triggered. Okay, it's important to deal with it however we need to deal with it. When I'm triggered, I allow time to deal with it. If I need to cry, I cry. If I need to be angry, I'm angry. But then how I do it is when I'm ready to put it away, I put it away. And it's put away. Like I said, Steve was an excellent teacher in compartmentalization. But that doesn't mean I'm hiding it or pretending it. You know, that wasn't the point of the pretending part. I'm just finding that I'm not having to force smiles as much anymore. And that is something, you know, that is really something for me. It makes me feel better physically, mentally, you know. Because let's face it, I mean, I look good. You know, you don't, I don't look good at all. Sorry, it's just me, guys. You know, I can't pass a mirror without going, oh, damn, shit. So, Steve used to like that. So, but I'm going to close it there, guys. Thank you so much for listening. And thanks to all of you. Mike, you have no idea, brother, donating what you did. Saving my ass. And let me know how that garage sale goes, too. Because I'm still getting mine ready. And we will talk before that. But those who donated to my GoFund campaign, I couldn't begin to thank you more. You know, just it overwhelms me how much kindness there is out there, and I will pay it forward, you know. So thanks y'all for listening, and I will holler at y'all later. Good night.